Moscow is closer to Chicago than to Russia's eastern border. With vastly increased range, today's Soviet planes are capable of making the round trip from Central Europe to New York City with frightening ease. Sobering facts like these call for an anti-aircraft defense system to afford the greatest protection possible for American cities. Working with radar, which was developed as an anti-aircraft weapon in World War II, the Signal Corps is in the process of developing and testing the framework of such a system. In an operations center outside a major city, technicians receive early warning of approaching aircraft from Air Force channels. As the aircraft comes within range, the searching radar sets of this defense system take over. There is set in motion an electronic chain of events in which the aircraft's approach is followed and plotted and studied with precision and accuracy every mile of its course. The aircraft is identified as enemy. From its protected vault inside the earth, in a location on the rim of the city, the lethal rocket Nike, developed by the Ordnance Corps, rises and points its deadly warhead skyward. Sentinels of the new age, guardians of the nation's skies. In the operation of the defense system, a ring of batteries, either of Nikes or conventional anti-aircraft weapons, will circle the city. Inside the operations center, the routine of gathering and processing the vital information continues. Every detail of the operation is known to the technicians in the room. The identification and the position of the aircraft and the status of the firing battery. Fantastic? Not at all. No more than as a remotely controlled tank, or battlefield television, or the miniaturized communications equipment that a soldier in World War II would not have dreamed of. The growth of the electronic era has only begun. Who can say but what our next communications challenge will be to establish contact with space? For this is an age when fantasy becomes reality, this age of vehicles that travel beyond the Earth and the atmosphere that surrounds it. This is an age when, with the aid of cameras installed in these rockets, we have even seen our Earth, as men in an age before could not conceive it. In this technical triumph, symbolic of the new frontiers we have carved, we have even seen the rim of Earth. It is truly an age of the realization of man's scientific genius. But in this golden day of discovery, we have watched our shrinking world divide into two parts, one free and one slave. The preservation of the free world is the greatest challenge that faces free men today, and the United States Army shares heavily in the responsibility for that defense. To help keep that Army intact and ready for the future is a mission of the Signal Corps. For in the words of the Chief Signal Officer, General Back,
the Signal Corps is known as the nerves of the Army, for the communications network of the Signal Corps extends like a vast sensory system to every part of the military body, unifying it, keeping it alert and alive. Today, we are involved in experiments and developments which, from a technical viewpoint, will far surpass the combined magnitude of technical achievements during the past 100 years.
This is Sergeant Stuart Queen, inviting you to be with us next week for another look at the United States Army in action on The Big Picture.
The Big Picture is a weekly television report to the nation on the activities of the Army at home and overseas. Produced by the Signal Corps Pictorial Center. Presented by the U.S. Army in cooperation with this station. You can be an important part of the big picture. You can proudly serve with the best equipped, the best trained, the best fighting team in the world today, the United States Army.